about 5 minutes is a new aha moment that I've had. And I shared this with Karen, I believe, but I don't think anybody else, because it's a brand new aha moment. And I think it's important for someone going into DIQ or already in DIQ. Last Thursday night after the event, or before the event, I had a director that's just local in town that came to the event come up to me and she said, I really want you to meet the guest that I brought with me tonight. She has been trying to have a baby for 6 years, and I was telling her this director was at career conference, so she heard me share my story, and she knows I have this prayer group for women that are struggling with infertility. And so she said, I was talking to my guest on the way here, I told her about your prayer group, and she really wants to meet you after the event. Would you be willing to meet her? I said, of course, absolutely. So after the event, she and I sat together. She was telling me her story a little bit. She didn't even go to her high school reunion this last year because it's really just so heavy on her heart, and she knew everybody would be asking her if she had kids, and it's just been a big struggle for her. So we were able to just talk together and let her know that as of that night, she's going to be prayed for every single night, and that God, as Jill said last week, God doesn't tease us or taunt us with our dreams, and He gives us the desire of our heart, and sometimes it comes in a fashion we're not expecting, but He does, and we can believe that. And we had a really great conversation, and as I was leaving that event that night, it just reminded me of why I do what I do. Had I not had that platform, that speech at career conference, I may have been able to talk to maybe a few friends at church, and maybe that they were going through that struggle too, but I wouldn't have thousands of women that got to hear that part of my story. And I do Mary Kay, of course, for my family and for my kids, and that's huge and very important to me, but I really do, and if we're really honest with each other, there really is another purpose for our business. Maybe we haven't totally discovered it yet, but there is. And I love that Mary Kay gives us the opportunity to influence and to reach and touch other people. So as I was thinking about that whole experience and how awesome that was, that through the tragedy and the heartbreak of a part of my life, that now I can turn around and turn that into something really good and really positive. So it's kind of silly, but just like you'll remember me juggling and walking down hot coals and doing backflips now, I want you to remember this. The next morning I thought, that's my Miss America platform. You know how Miss America always has a platform? That she, not literally a platform, but she, like a politician, runs on a platform, whether it's education, childhood obesity, whether it's diabetes or heart disease. You know, when she stands up there, she is, I'm Miss America, or I'm Miss Florida, and I represent this cause. Right? She has a cause. So I was thinking, that's my Miss America platform. And every speech I give, I want to share that, and I want to give hope to women that go through that. Well, then I started to think, wait a minute, I have a gal in my organization who, Katie Antonetti, her third, very successful, her third daughter has major health issues. And that's what she's struggling with right now. I have another consultant that's going through something else that she's struggling with. I have another, I thought, I bet everybody has a platform. I bet everybody has a cause. And I called up Karen and I said, Karen, what's your Miss America platform? And we were talking, and she and her husband fostered children. Karen grew up in a family that did that. And they did, when they were newly married, ended up adopting one of their foster kids. So she's part of their family too. And she was talking about the two moments that God has really shown up in her life was that moment and now in her Mary Kay business. I said, Karen, that's your platform. That's your Miss America platform. I've been talking to some of my other consultants, and one of them it's cancer research, one of them it's teen pregnancy, one of them it's child abuse, one of them, they all have a platform. And I was sharing with them that it's not enough, you guys. It's not enough to just be able to have our little mini platform in our own little mini corner of the world. I really believe that if all of us went for whatever it is that's in our life that we are passionate about, because as I'm imagining building my national area, it takes at least 20 directors. And I'm imagining, what if there were 20 platforms that represent almost every area of life, right? One of my top directors is a pastor's wife, and that's a very lonely place to be. I don't know if anyone's married to someone in the ministry, but you can't share a lot of information. You have to be giving out all the time. She has a heart for pastors' wives. One of my other directors has a love for animals. I mean, she is just crazy about animals, and she wants to provide a place for, unwanted animals and all of those things. That's like totally her passion. And so I thought, wow, what if I looked at all my directors and said, platform with this is her cause, this is her cause. Oh my goodness, we could change the world. right? If we have women that learn the leadership skills, learn how to communicate as a sales director, could you imagine the influence that we could have? Not only in Pensacola, in Florida, in the United States, in the world. Women are powerful beings. So it helped me to appreciate the struggle that I've been through, and I'm grateful for it because now I have a platform and I have a cause. So what I want each of you to do for the next 10 minutes before we're done is I want you to think, if you had to pick today, and it doesn't have to be anything, again, tragic that's happened to you, but something that you're passionate about. If you were to stand as Miss America, what would your platform be? My name is, and I represent such and such. So I want you to really dig deep and think about what that is. And I want you to know that each one of you has the opportunity, as you move up into Mary Kay, to truly reach out and connect with people on that level. So I just want you to jot down, as you figure out your platform, a couple of notes on what your speech is going to sound like. Okay? Because you got to imagine it now. You have to imagine what you're going to speak on, how you're going to connect with people in the audience, and what that's going to look like and sound like, what your platform is. Okay? So I want you to take the next 10 minutes to do that. This is a truly, I think, an aha moment that we all need in here today. It's outside of our families, which is still important. It's outside of our teams. It's outside of this, but it's bigger and it's greater. And I think it will allow us to embrace things that that have gone on in our lives too. Okay?